everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I am Sana and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started. Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 24th of May 2022. Let's start. Which country chaired the high-level ministerial meeting on global food security call to action? So US Secretary of State Antony Blinken chaired the high-level ministerial meeting on the global food security call to action, where? In New York. And India's Union Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan expressed the concern over global food insecurity in the meeting. And also he said that India welcomes the UN Secretary General's initiative of establishing a global crisis response group on food, energy and finance and exemption of food purchases by the World Food Program for humanitarian assistance from the food export restriction. Okay, so only thing you have to remember is this meeting was chaired by USA. Fine. Now let's see some of the important international current affairs. Kingstown is the capital of which country that was recently visited by the Indian president? So President Ram Nath Kovind has recently visited the St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a part of his two-nation tour of the Caribbean. So he is the first Indian president to visit to St. Vincent, whose capital is Kingstown. So it is a kind of non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, similar to India. Fine. InSight Mars lander was launched by which country? So NASA had launched this InSight, and the full form of InSight is Interior Exploration Using Seismic Investigation, GOTSI and Heat Transport Mars lander in the year 2018. And this lander is progressively losing the power and it is likely to end its science operations by the end of 2022. So this mission has so far detected more than 1,300 Mars quakes and located several quake-prone regions of the Mars. And also it has recorded the crucial weather data and studied its magnetic field, right? So correct answer is USA. India signed a memorandum of understanding with which country for cooperation in the fertilizer sector? So recently we have signed this MOU with Jordan in the field of fertilizer sector. Which country won the Uber Cup title in 2022? So recently South Korea has won this cup by defeating the country China, and the Thomas Cup winner is India, and India has defeated Indonesia to win this cup. Which country is the host of the 15th World Forestry Congress? Answer is again South Korea. Which country is the host of Shanghai Cooperation Organization's Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure meeting in 2022? This is India. And last question is, Elizabeth Borne is the new female Prime Minister of which country? So now onwards, Elizabeth Borne is the new female Prime Minister of France. Fine. Next question. As per the recent United Nations World Economic Situation and Prospect Report, what is the projected GDP growth rate of India in financial year 23? So United Nations Department of Economic and the Social Affairs released its World Economic Situation and the Prospect Report. So India is projected to grow by 6.4% in 2022, which is slower than the last year's 8.8%. But still, we are the fastest growing major economy. And for the fiscal year 2023, India's growth is projected to be at 6%, and the war in Ukraine has slowed the global economic growth to 3.1%, and earlier this value was 4%. Fine. Now let's see some of the important reports. As per a recent report, economic losses due to pollution have increased as a proportion of GDP, mainly in which countries? So a latest report on pollution and health has said that increase in death due to modern types of pollution were evident in South Asia, East Asia and Southeast Asia. So basically in the year 2000, India lost the output equivalent to 3.2% of its GDP as a result of pollution. And the economic losses due to modern types of pollution have increased as a proportion of GDP between 2000 and 2019 in three countries, basically India, China and Nigeria. So the losses are estimated to amount to approximately 1% of GDP in each of these countries. Okay. What is the number of new internal displacement reported in 2021 as per a recent report? So according to a joint report by the Internal Displacement Monitoring Center, around 38 million new internal displacements were reported in 2021, with some people forced to flee multiple times during this year. So obviously conflict and the natural disasters forced tens of millions of people to flee within their own country last year, and around 59.1 million people were registered as internally displaced worldwide in 2021. So this is expected to be broken again this year due to the mass displacement in war of Ukraine, right? As per the recent United Nations World Economic Situation and Prospect Report, what is the projected GDP growth rate of India in financial year 23? So this is the question itself which we have just discussed. Answer is 6%. Which institution has prepared the State of Inequality in India report released by Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister? This is Institute for Competitiveness. And who's the head of Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister? Mr. Vivek Debroy. Right? Which ministry launched the report on circular economy in municipal solid and the liquid waste? This question we have discussed yesterday, and here answer is Ministry of Housing and the Urban Affairs, and Minister of which is Hardeep Singh Puri. Fine. Next question. The National Endangered Species Day is celebrated on which day of May? So National Endangered Species Day is celebrated every year on the third Friday of May month, and this year it is celebrated on 20th of May. So this day aims to create awareness among the people about the endangered species and the different steps we can take to protect them. So this act aims to raise the need for the wildlife conservation and rehabilitation of the endangered species. Okay. Now in the next slide we'll see some of the important days and themes. World Bee Day is observed during which month annually? So this day is observed on May month, and which is the exact date? It is 20th of May. What is the theme of the International Families Day 2022? This day is celebrated on 15th of May, and this year theme was families and urbanization. Okay. National Dengue Day is observed in India during which month? So it is observed on again May month, and exactly speaking 16th of May. What is the theme of the International Museum Day 2022? It is observed on 18th of May, and this year theme was Power of Museums. Okay. World Book and the Copyright Day is observed every year on which day? It is observed on April 23rd. On which day is World Intellectual Property Day observed to learn about the importance of intellectual property right? Correct answer is 26th of April. Don't forget to tell me what was the theme for the World Intellectual Property Day for the year 2022. Do let me know in the comments. Next question. As per the third advanced estimates of production of major agricultural crops for 2021 to 22, what is the estimate production of food grains? So the third advanced estimates of production of major agricultural crops for this season have been released by the Union Ministry of Agriculture and the Farmers' Welfare. So as per the estimate, the production of food grains in the country is estimated at 314.51 million tons, which is higher by 3.77 million tons than the production of food grain during 2020-21. So this production is higher by 23.80 million tons than the previous 5 years average production of food grain. Okay. Now let's see some of the important agriculture related current affairs. Export Preparedness Index is launched by which of the following institution? So this index is prepared by Niti Aayog, and which was the topper state in this index? Gujarat. Then second place was occupied by Maharashtra, and at third it was Karnataka. So this index basically talks about that how much a particular state or a union territory is ready to export its product. Which country has banned the exports of wheat effective immediately, citing a risk to the food security? This country is India. And earlier we have seen that Egypt, which is one of the world's largest importer of wheat, has chosen India as its importer because earlier it used to import the wheat from Ukraine and Russia, but now due to Russia-Ukraine war, it is not possible. During the fiscal year 2021 to 22, India's agricultural product export surpassed how many billion dollars for the very first time? So this landmark is $50 billion. What is the time frame provided to satisfy the export obligation under the new export promotion capital good norms? So now the new time frame is 6 months. What were India's annual goods export in financial year 22? This is $417.81 billion. What was the percentage increase in the wheat export in the financial year 22 compared to the previous year? So in terms of wheat export, the percentage increase was 273%. Okay. Next question. As per the RBI's recent directions, what is the charge levied for the cardless cash transaction? So the Reserve Bank of India has asked all the banks and the ATM operators to make the cardless cash withdrawal facility, which is called as ICCW, means interoperable cardless cash withdrawal. Okay. So it is available at all the ATMs across all banks in India now, and UPI would be used for the customer authorization in such transactions, and the settlement would be done through the National Financial Switch or ATM networks. So the cardless cash transaction shall be processed without levy of any charge at all. Okay. So no charges is to be levied. Okay. Let's see some of the important RBI related current affairs. Former RBI Deputy Governor S.S. Mundra has been appointed as the chairperson of which institution? So now onwards he is the chairperson of Bombay Stock Exchange. According to RBI regulation, what should a bank's net value be in order for it to issue the credit card? So a bank's net value should be at least 100 crore rupees if it wants to issue the credit card. According to the RBI monetary policy of 8th April 2022, the RBI has predicted India's GDP forecast for financial year 23 at what percentage? So RBI has predicted India's GDP forecast for financial year 23 at 7.2%. What is the deadline given by the RBI for the banks to replace all of their ATMs with the lockable cassette? So this deadline is March 31, 2023. The second statue of Hanumanji Chardham project has been inaugurated in the Morbi district in which state? So Morbi district lies in Gujarat. So total 4 statues of Hanumanji is to be constructed under this project, and this is the second one. Next question. Mujib, the Making of a Nation movie is jointly produced by which countries? So the 90 seconds trailer of the feature film on Mujib, the Making of a Nation, directed by Sri Shyam Benegal, was released recently, and the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting and the government of Bangladesh are the producers of this film, and the National Film Development Corporation of India and the Bangladesh Film Development Corporation have signed the agreement for the film on Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in 2020. Okay, so correct answer is Bangladesh and India. Let's see some of the important exercises that were in news. Which two nations participate in the Oz Index exercise? As the name suggests itself, Oz is for Australia and Ind is for India, right? So which two countries are this? Australia and India. Which country won the Lock Shields 2022 Cyber Defense Exercise? This was won by the country Finland. Kripan Shakti Integrated Firepower Exercise was held in which state? It was held in the state of West Bengal. Khanjar is a joint special forces exercise held between India and which other country? Answer is Kyrgyzstan. Varuna is the bilateral naval exercise between India and which other country? This country is France. Prasthan is an offshore security exercise conducted by which Indian armed force? Answer is Indian Navy, right? And this exercise is conducted every 6 months to ensure our offshore security. Fine. Next question. The National Green Tribunal has asked which state's town planning department to hold the draft development plan. So the National Green Tribunal has directed Himachal Pradesh Town and Country Planning Department to put on hold the draft development plan Shimla Planning Area 2041. So this development plan was prepared under the Amrut sub-scheme and it proposes to permit construction of the more floors, new construction in core areas as well as the constructions in the green areas. Okay. So an environmental activist had filed the application in the National Green Tribunal against this draft development plan. Okay. So correct answer would be Himachal Pradesh. Now let's see some of the important states that were in news. Yagachi River, which was seen in the news recently, flows in which state? So the Yagachi Reservoir, which is located in the Hassan district of Karnataka, was full for the first time in the month of May. And due to the heavy rains in the catchment area, the water level reached up to 3,164.06 feet. So Yagachi River arises in the Western Ghats near the Chikmagaluru and flows through Belur in Hassan district, where it becomes a tributary of the Hemavati river. Okay, so it lies in the state of Karnataka. Assam Rifles and Axis Bank partnered to establish a center of excellence and wellness in which state? Answer is Nagaland. So basically 30 students from EWS category would be chosen from there and they would be further trained and mentored for various competitive exams like NEET and IIT so as to get the admissions in better colleges. Mukhyamantri Ghar Ghar Ration Yojana is a doorstep ration delivery scheme of which state or the union territory. So it is the scheme of New Delhi government, and recently the Delhi High Court has said that you cannot distribute the grains provided by the center under this Yojana. So for this doorstep ration delivery scheme you have to create another scheme. Okay. Supreme Court had directed which state to compensate the victims who suffered effects of endosulfan pesticide. Answer is Kerala. And Supreme Court has banned this pesticide in the year 2012. Which state is the champion of the 12th Hockey India Senior Women National Championship 2022? Answer is Odisha. Which state is the host of Vadnagar International Conference? This is Gujarat. Okay. Next question. Which organization announced to fund $30 billion to tackle the global food crisis? So the World Bank has announced that it has planned to implement a global response to the food security crisis with up to $30 billion funding in the existing and the new project, and financing in areas such as agriculture, nutrition, social protection, water and irrigation will be available for the implementation to address the food insecurity over the next 15 months. And also the World Bank is working with the countries to prepare $12 billion of new project to fight this food security crisis. Okay. Let's see some of the organizations that were in news. Which organization announced to fund $30 billion to tackle global food crisis? This is the same question. Answer is World Bank. Indian Space Research Organization successfully tested the solid rocket booster HS-200 component of which mission? So this is the component of our Gaganyaan manned mission. Which organization has partnered with Niti Aayog to use the artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain and the drones to support small and the marginal farmer? This is the World Economic Forum. Headquarters lies in Switzerland. Which is the venue of the JAN International Trade Organization's G2 Connect 2022 conference? Answer is Pune. Which organization has launched the gluten-free millet product at Ahar Food Fair? This is APEDA, and APEDA stands for Agricultural and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority, right? Last question. Where is the CSIR Central Leather Research Institute located in India? So Union Minister of State under Ministry of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, addressed the Platinum Jubilee celebrations of the CSIR Central Leather Research Institute in Chennai. And also he announced that the leather industry in India will aim at net zero carbon footprint. And in the year 2021, export realization from the leather sector is valued at 40,000 crore rupees. And the minister has also announced about the efforts to prepare customized footwear for the Indians by using the 3D technology. Fine. Let's see some of the important institutes that were in news. Which institution developed the Hans NG, the new generation two-seater flying trainer aircraft? It has been developed by CSIR NAL, means Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, National Aerospace Laboratory. Which institution led the group that has developed the India's first 5G test bed? So it has been developed by IIT Madras. Which institution launched the National Data and Analytics Platform? This has been developed by Niti Aayog. Which institution has announced to set up the Yuva Tourism Club? Answer is CBSE, that is Central Board of Secondary Education. Which multilateral institution has offered Nagaland a $2 billion credit for infrastructure development? So to enhance their infrastructure, Nagaland has been provided with $2 billion by ADB, that is Asian Development Bank, headquarters lies in Philippines. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.